What's up, everyone? Welcome to another segment of Crypto World Radio. And today is going to be more of a community space. And thank you for tuning in to another Twitter Spaces. We just finished Market Talk a few minutes ago, so didn't really expect really many people to come in, but it's pretty cool. So if you want to come up, feel free to do so. And just a reminder, this space will be uploaded onto our YouTube 5 to 10 minutes after the space is concluded. And today we're just going to talk some DeFi stuff. Today I'm joined by Phil Payne. Good to have you up here. And I see we have Hashed coming up to request. I'll bring him up.
How's it going, brother? Great day.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, man.
Great day to be a crypto
Doing
native.
pretty good. Hash, are you able to hear us properly?
Yeah, bro. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good,
Doing
man.
great.
Did pretty good with Aptos.
Yeah, Aptos
Sold
was
that like
great.
right sold that right before like that breakout to $11. It was just chilling at like 990, 980 ish, and yeah, it just decided to, to Chad. But it is what it is. What really stuck out to me was back in like around Christmas time when I started just going from space to space across NFT land and Web3 land. There were these spaces dedicated to just like Aptos NFTs, and to my knowledge, like I didn't really know much about the Move ecosystem outside of this DEX called Cetus, which is also going to be launched on Sui, and they focus on like that whole concentrated liquidity narrative and all that stuff. So there's another DEX as well. It's an AMM actually, but the name escapes me. And when I saw that happen, it reminds me of Solana, so I just completely left curved it. And shit, dude. Outside of Aptos, like I haven't really been looking at Solana over the last couple of days, and that thing was just consolidating about like 21, $22, and decided to pump to 26, which was right before the FTX collapse. So, pretty fun, but given that we've pretty much been up only year to date, um, I'm just on the sidelines outside of like my Luna V2 bag, which um, I believe will go something like $3-4 in the short term.
Gonna
But
have a nice scam
um,
pump for sure.
yeah, but either way, like I've got stops and profit either way. It actually hit $1, dude, a little bit after the FTX collapse, and I'm like, damn, this is right around the area where I got most of my bag from the original Terra, and left curved that too.
What you're talking about before
Um,
Terra blew up?
yeah, like when UST was implemented and all that, and the burn mechanism went live.
You're making me nostalgic.
So yeah, outside of that, uh, Metis announced that whole Metis Andromeda thing that they're going to deploy with Aave, and excited for that. And um, wonder how their stablecoin is going to do GHO.
Dude, I think
Um,
sorry to cut you off, but I mean if any stablecoin that's like, I guess, quote unquote algorithmic has a chance to do great next bull run, it's gonna be Aave's, and they're gonna return a lot of value to Aave, I'm assuming. I'm Aave, so I was literally telling people, I was telling you this on the phone before we got on, but I mean, in November when the FTX thing was happening, I said that Aave and Matic were my only spot positions, and ETH, and I had those. I was holding those just because everyone was bearish, and that's typically what happens at bottoms, right? And so I was just and I was kind of in the bear camp too, but I was kind of smart enough to realize, hey, I need to hedge my own bias and just hold this spot, and I'm really really happy I did because I got Aave around $50 and Matic around like 65 cents, and so those have both done very well. And I might cut like 25% of those if we go any higher, or if I see like a pretty sharp rejection from here. But I'm just kind of playing it by ear right now because it's just spot. I'm not on leverage or anything. And but yeah, back to Aave. I think Aave is really going to do well next year because if you want to talk about infrastructure plays, I mean, there is no DeFi without Aave. It is the heart. It is the heartbeat of DeFi. And if you think about the prospect of them launching a stable coin, I mean, they're literally one of the only profitable protocols on Ethereum. Most of these protocols don't produce revenue, and I think the only three are like Aave, GMX, and ENS. And so I think if they launch a stable coin that's like backed by their treasury and real assets, that's going to do really well and return a lot of value to Aave. And not to mention, I mean, you're just going to see people getting levered up as soon as we start, having a trending move upwards. And so I really think that's going to be a really great runner next year because next bull run because there's not really anywhere else. If you think about it from an institutional perspective too, there's not anywhere else that institutions can play around on DeFi without Aave. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, man. And like I said a few spaces ago, that ETH whale still has he still has his collateral posted on Maker, and like he's up well over $1 billion, and he just hasn't let that position go. And I know it's kind of a meme, dude, but like our boy Mercury posted the 2019 fractal. He posted the 2019 fractal, and like we're following that to a significant T. To be honest, I just find it kind of funny, dude. And not that it really means anything. It's kind of a meme, but like monthly charts are a thing, and when you had the monthly RSI the lowest that it's ever been, I think it was at like 20 or 18, just severely oversold, dude. This was of course a few weeks after FTX, because as you know, like we had that little complacency pump across a few alts after FTX, and they just started bleeding up until like the middle of December. And there was something to be said about that, but of course I didn't really put any meaningful size. Still cautious. I don't really mind if I'm not like fully sized or anything, but it's definitely cool to see some sort of upside volatility that paints a clean chart rather than like those nasty movements that we had during the summer where like Bitcoin would go to 23, 24, then go back to 21, and alts would just like
That was that
shit
Alameda
the bed
market.
and bounce
That
around
was
like
the
that.
Alameda market making.
Yeah, dude. And
The
speaking
Bart
about
Simpson,
Aptos,
bro.
yeah, and speaking about Aptos, dude, you remember when we kind of had this tinfoil hat theory of like with Alameda gone from the market, a lot of these projects, especially even ones with like good fundamentals, their runway was cut by a significant margin. And a lot of these newer projects, instead of having 10-year runway, they were cut down to 2 or 3. So like our suspicion was, given a good friend of ours, who's a market maker, right? And does know like people connected to Kyle Davis and Suzu.
T-Wop.
They were over in yeah, and they were actually over in Dubai and got like a private raise. I'm not sure if it's for their exchange though. I don't think it was for their exchange. I think it was um, to do some other business there. But again, tinfoil hat, and then like the yearly open meme, you know. And I made that tweet like, man, that yearly open's probably gonna look sick. And come to look, year to date, you see many alts like Aptos, you see FET, um, you see some of like these metaverse tokens as well, like VRA, just completely giving these 3AC vibes, dude. Just straight up only, barely any dips, dude. And
No
that's like,
pullbacks.
yeah, dude,
Dude,
yeah,
Wabi, this rally has been so fun, I
yeah,
think.
dude.
Because
You're
the funniest part is just like so many people like are still fucking sidelined. And I think that like the hardest part about these bear rallies, and I took note of this on the last one where we went up to like 2K or 16, I can't remember which, but I was like, yo, this thing just rips fucking face to the point where people are like, well, if I buy here, I'm dumb. And then it goes up another 30%. And then they really start to fucking cope. And it's like the same fucking thing again, where we just absolutely climb. And everybody's just like, what's happening over here? And like, you got so many people just macroing it so hard that they fucking miss like move. Like, you know,
Yeah,
I'm not like
the move
necessarily like, oh,
ecosystem.
the bottom's in, but like this shit fucking ripped,
Oh man, you
bro.
got to
The
So
bro,
many
move
dude.
people.
I've been
ecosystem.
telling people since before we even had this breakout today. You got to respect the pump, man. And here's the thing: there was so many people that were trying to, and I said in the BB Discord too yesterday. I said within the week, I think we could probably hit 24K because especially if like SPX just ranges, there's no reason that it was just showing so much strength, man. There was no reason that it was just gonna suddenly pull back because there was just too many people that were eager to short it. I think funding was really negative, and I just didn't see like there was no real reason to take us down. And I think if this has taught us anything, it's like, look, man, as scammy as some projects can be and as shitty as some of the fundamentals can be, if there are simply no more sellers, there are no more sellers. Like if yeah, like a good example is
It's not just that though. There are also like very few market makers right
well,
now.
yeah, I mean
Like
that is
liquidity is
very
just
true.
low in
Yeah, the
general.
It's
books
it's
are
So it's
like
only
like
jump,
we can
dude.
just
The only market makers right now that are doing anything is Jump and Galaxy Digital. Those are the only
yeah,
people.
it's kind
And
of sick.
also
I like
and
I
also
don't know.
and all and also Andreessen Horowitz, like a lot of the market making going on right now, even though I wasn't in the market at the time, but if you look at 2016 when Ethereum was getting traction and like the initial ICO started, you essentially had like alt season come up all the way leading up towards consensus. And consensus is in April now, right? If you take a look at the conferences, guys, like there is so many scams trying to raise money right now, dude. It's really not even funny, dude. So it's like, this isn't exactly like the last bear market where people thought it was over. It's just that, like, dude, if I'm talking to you about, hey, what's Conto? Hey, what's Fuel? Right? Like these more like newer, obscure sort of protocols, right? Where like to bridge to them, it's the biggest headache ever, and it's so clunky. But like whenever you try to network about these lesser known protocols, or even things like Barachain, right? The first thing someone says is like, oh, but something's going on in Europe. Oh, something about precious metals. Like, dude, why are you talking like that now when last year you were gambling with me on Terra, dude? You were gambling with me on Phantom. I'm really not like understanding the complete picture outside of just Hash. If you remember in 2018 during that bear market, a lot of people moved over to Forex and equities, and they just like stopped paying attention to crypto. And then they all came back when Doge started putting in that nasty rally. And I'm starting to get like similar vibes now, just accepting that whoever left the market is just not going to come back no matter what. And like, I'm accepting the fact that like
or when they do or when
Aptos
they
could,
do come back, it'll be time for us to dump our bags.
yeah. And like, dude, I'm aware of the fact that like Aptos could possibly be like the chain link of this year where it just does a 10x year to date. And that would put Aptos at like close to $30. But the thing is, it's like not even that wild because as far as the FDV goes, it's essentially the same as AVAX if AVAX were to like get cut in half or like a 55%, something like that, right? So it's not really that wild to suspect that like a lot of the people that were gonna stay on AVAX, right, for their subnets when that gets like further on in development, which is probably second half of 23, first half of 24, because it's still dead, to be honest. Um, they just decided to go over to Move, even though there's not much to do on Move yet. Um, but there are a lot of things that I've been looking at that are developing on Move. So I kind of think of it like AVAX Part 2. So like next bull run, probably a good top for Aptos would be like 110, 120, depending on how like the token unlocks work. But it really looks like it's the market maker has most of the tokens. I think the market maker has most of the tokens, dude.
No, for sure. And
So
I think the unlocks are actually not too bad. I think they're fairly spread out, from what I can remember. Even though the FDV is obviously like pretty shit, it's what really matters is the unlocks. Like that's what a lot of people have to realize is the FDV can be completely fucked, but excuse my language, but it can be really bad. But you know, if only 12% of the supply is circulating, then I mean, it really doesn't matter. To be honest, you just have to not be holding the bag when the VCs get their unlocks.
yeah, I think most people still got blown out from FTX. We do have to remember that a lot of these influencers, right, like OGCT, were saying like, oh, if there was any other day where I felt like quitting, it was today, right? And isn't it funny, right, that our speculation back then, which was, dude, what if Suzu becomes the hero and marks the bottom, right? And when he started tweeting, all it took like that last dip, that last ride to the downside. I think ADA went from like 35 cents down to 21 cents, 22 cents. And then like the rumor started circulating that, Sue is over in Singapore and in Dubai trying to raise money. So like the idea was, what if they're doing some background stuff to come back in some way? They're not really trying to bring back 3AC, but like just doing some market making stuff for other funds, given the fact that a lot of those people were probably laid off and those funds had cash on the sidelines. And then we had our boy Susie. What did Susie say? Payne? What was it? What
Man,
was it
he
that he
was
said about
screaming
alts?
from the mount. He was screaming from the mountaintops to start. He said, "Look, there's probably it is a good time to start TWAPing ETH, which is basically if you don't know what a TWAP is, it's time to start DCAing." And he was saying that. Well, like what specifically about alts besides ETH were you talking about, Wabi?
Looking at things that have a fresh
Oh
chart.
yeah, the fresh chart, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, dude, he was saying yeah, dude, anything with a fresh chart is just going to benefit cuz it's basically in perpetual price discovery and there's no bag holders. And so that's why Aptos is probably going to do really well. And I think there's a lot of people that miss Solana. Just even retails and institutions that are probably just like looking to run that back, and AVAX. I think they both kind of similar vein. And excuse me, I think that it'll like any new charts that are launched right now are probably just they're all probably going to rip next bull run, and they're probably going to have more upside than the bag holder coins from last cycle, unless with few exceptions like Aave, and I think also Matic is probably going to do really well, even though it was a last cycle coin. But I mean, from last cycle, we saw all the new coins, Solana, AVAX. Those were all the ones that did like 50 to 100x. I mean, it wasn't like Cardano ripped, but it wasn't. If you bought the top from Cardano in 2017, you only made like a 2 or 3x. To
Yeah, I think the new rotation, or the next quote unquote big three to replace like Solunavax was Aptos, Sui, and Say, but I'm not so sure about Sui now, to be honest. And I think Say is going to be replaced by something like Obel Network. That's how you pronounce it. And they're not really gonna. I don't believe at the current moment they're going to be releasing anytime soon, similar to Nillion. But I think those two are going to be some huge bangers. And to my knowledge, Obel currently has an evaluation lower than 10 mil, and Nillion has its evaluation of under 50 mil. And I know with Nillion, they're planning on releasing first half of 2024. So I'm paying attention to things that are like completely a few quarters out. And given the fact that like it was metaverse that ran hard towards the later quarter of the cycle, I'm comparing it to that last quarter of 2017 where like the layer ones, rather the fake layer ones, right? Like ICX, Aeon, Neo ran the hardest. And then 2020, 2021, you had like things that had those narratives run the hardest. So I'm kind of thinking that anything that has a platform where these things can build on, it's probably going to run the hardest. So, what's up, Adrian? How you doing, man? I'm sorry, dude. I don't really look at my phone. I just approve and I just go. But what's up? What's going on, man? How are you feeling today, bro?
I just heard what you were talking about, Aeon and all those coins, dude. I was like, dude, we need Ian Bellina back. All the scam.
Dude, Ian Bellina's actually like he's good, man. He has token metrics.
I'm sure he's
and
good.
dude, token metrics is a pretty good platform, and like I mean it's AI and machine learning, and he was pretty early to that narrative before anyone really caught up, and it's a phenomenal product. And I was a customer. I'm pretty transparent when it comes to me and token metrics. Like I used it from 2020 all the way towards like the summer of 21, and it's a phenomenal product, and it's a tool more than anything. So I loved it, man. It was good. He's cool, dude. He's
so
cool.
Wabi, this is what I'm gonna ask you for a favor. I'm gonna ask you to send me your Solana wallet, an address, and I'm gonna send you an NFT, and I have a good list of scams that'll make us all rich.
Hey, man. Talking NFTs, you're speaking my language. That's all I've been playing recently.
You too. Payne, send me your DM too, and I'll send you a gate to the palace, dude. Our key to the palace. To the scam.
Bro. NFTs have been, dude. NFTs are kind of in a mini bull market right now. Like, I was trading leverage a lot last year, but I haven't really traded leverage in like 3 months. Just because I've only had Spot, Matic, and Aave, like I said, and then dude, NFTs have just been free money like the last 3 months or so, dude. I mean, the narrative was really easy, bro. The narrative was active founders, and I mean, dude, all you had to see was just if the founder was active. It was active founders, and it was strong communities like cult communities, and I mean, bro, you saw it with Miladies, you saw it with Sappy Seals, you saw it with Pudgy Penguins, like
yeah, the Penguins, they rocked it, man.
Yeah, man. And so it's like, bro, I'm not going to sit here and stare at the 15-minute on some alt with books thinner than an anorexic girl.
Dude, Payne, you got to remember the motto, dude. The next cycle, NFTs are going to run like the 2017 altcoins, because a lot of these alts, dude, a lot of these NFTs are really just low circulating altcoins. But of course, you do have to be careful. You can't just like freaking ape, right? You do have to do some diligence, and like.
So I'm gonna tell you something.
I know.
I'm gonna tell you a little secret. They're leveraged altcoins with pictures.
Altcoins with pictures, baby.
Adrian, look at Solana right now.
I got my eye on it, dude. 27 was my target from 8. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
All right. I'm just making sure.
Yeah, thank you.
What are you long right now? Are you still long anything?
I'm long KNC. I am long SKL. I'm about to long Atom. I just wanted to close at a certain number. What else? Let me see.
I closed Lido. I closed Optimism.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'm still long Solana.
I wouldn't open up any longs right here, to be honest, dude. Everything I said.
No. I just was asking what you.
No. I'm talking to Adrian.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm waiting for a pullback. I'm waiting for a little pullback on stuff. Like, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm telling everybody right now. Maybe you're like a diehard VRA Veracity token. You just buy that thing when it's like down tremendous. It'll make you rich one day. I'm just letting you know, just like a few other ones. So
that goes for about 40% of the stuff on KuCoin too. 100%. Just as a side note.
I mean, KuCoin specials, dude. I'm all about that shit. You gotta go.
Yo, KuCoin's gonna force KYC, brother.
I know its days are numbered because I was using.
No, it's fucking today. Like somebody said, they just got fucking forced KYC.
Yeah,
It's not. The days
Wait,
are
really?
numbered. It's right
Are you
now.
serious?
yeah.
That's terrible news, man. Shit. Because I was using.
Hey, can you bring David up, Wabi?
Pardon? Say it again.
Can you bring David up?
David Gill, yeah.
Yeah, can you bring David up?
Okay. All right. Mr. David G. Invite to speak.
Yeah, I'm probably rotating like leverage profits into like spot bags. That's usually my thing. Or
That's
I
a
mean, that's
great
a lot of
call.
people's thing. Yeah. So I'm looking at Ocean. Ocean is my hedge, dude. That's just good fundamentals. It's moving. You know, it's a dinosaur thing, but it's actually works.
Yeah,
Go ahead, David Gill. Go ahead, brag away.
oh, no, I wasn't brag. I didn't actually request listening, but you know, I hope everybody's having a good day.
Have any of you guys used fuel?
Oh, by the way,
by any
we're back.
chance?
Just so everyone knows. That's all. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, we're back.
I believe you. I believe you, man. It's been going pretty nice.
They didn't
man.
believe
I
me
haven't
when
really
I said it in
gone
December,
back.
but they believe it now. That's all. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Fuel. I haven't used that one yet, but I know there's bound to be something there in the next couple of months. But I think at the current moment they only have like a test net going on, so not really much there. Hash, you've been using Cosmos?
No.
You just buy the stuff.
I bought Kanto.
There isn't much to
that's
do
about
on
it.
Cosmos when it's not airdrop season, to be fair.
You can buy Kanto. that works.
I remember I can't get my money out after that was like David Gill
Yeah,
hadn't run.
Kanto has Synapse though now, Adrian.
Ah, nice.
So you can just be synapsing.
Yeah, I
You know,
think,
on that point, I'll say to everybody in here, don't let laziness stop you from making money, because there's too many times people don't move their money, and then the thing is 3x's, and they're like, "Oh, I should have moved my money."
Listen, you don't have to fucking subtweet me while I'm in the room, David.
Hey, I do it myself. I didn't Kanto. I moved my money off Kanto at 10 cents. I was like, okay, cool, 6 to 10 cents. That was fun. And then it went to 20. So I was like, all right, nice.
2x. Ooh.
yeah, I noticed Kenzo made a new low right around like the yearly open, and well, not a low from like all the VCs that sold, but I'm kind of wondering if like all the
Kanto doesn't have
leverage
BCs.
providers-
That's like the whole thing about Kanto.
Oh, damn!
It's
I
totally
thought
organic.
it was wow.
The chain doesn't do
That's
anything. It has no activity. It goes up. That's
Yeah, it's the purest form of gambling as you can get in the altcoin market. Like,
I love it.
Jeez.
That would dog.
So I know with some Cosmos projects, even though like they label themselves as like this completely decentralized economy, there's always some like VC stuff in the background. So
Bro, like, on that Wabi, I'm gonna tell you, if you looked at the last Polygon video, they legitimately used every fucking buzzword that you can in crypto. We got blockchains with security and ZK syncs and all this bullshit, and I'm like, yeah, pump our bags. That's just all that stuff, emissions, all that stuff. Yeah, forget about all of it. Just buy scams. They're all scams. Capiche? I gotta go take care of my Castle Leverage Labs. So send me a DM and I'll send you an NFT.
No problem,
Hey,
man. No
good
problem.
talking to you, brother. I'll be back in here. I just gotta go take care of my people.
No problem, man. I'll see you around, brother. So, David, what are some narratives that you're looking at outside of just like playing new charts? I know that's something that I've heard you and Hash say months back.
Take it a bro. Optimism fucking continuing. Yeah, sounds fucking unhealthy, bro.
The narrative right now is being a Chinese landlord. That's the meta.
So we like Chinese metaverse land.
Yeah.
We like
Harlem just did a backflip, Wabi.
Dude, metaverse. So are you saying I should ape into what is it? What is it paying? MVI or MTI?
Listen.
The metaverse index
No,
token?
fuck
We
that.
have the
We don't like
Critera.
indexes. We go all in on
bro.
shitcoins, okay? Fuck your diversification.
Terrorland.
Free terror.
Optimism with the fucking highs.
I
No,
wrote a thread about it
optimism.
this morning. If
Hold
anybody
up.
wants to read it, I'll put
real quick.
information
I'm
at the
glad
top.
you brought up optimism because they actually have the best. They have like the best FTV out of almost any token. Them and FTM have pretty much the best. Like as
When
far
you
as
say best FTV, what do you mean by that?
well, I
Yeah,
mean
what do you
relative,
mean best?
bro. I mean
Like
relative
that
to.
it's
I'm talking
really high.
Okay, you got me, man. But I'm saying relative to the rest of the market, it has the least amount of VCs that are going to dump on you in the next run. And
No, Optimism has a lot of VCs that will dump on you. But the thing is that they also have a lot of VCs who are going to pump the shit out of it first. And the on-chain stuff hasn't moved yet. And it's about to hit all-time highs. And if you're not on Optimism chain, you should do it right now. And like I said, don't be lazy.
there's a ton of airdrops too.
And start buying coins.
Just for random protocols they're giving away. Like there was one just for honestly I can't remember the name off top, but it was like $1,000 or some shit just for like taking a single trade. I think it was an aggregator on Optimism. But yeah, there's a bunch of opportunities like that, and I'm glad you said, don't be lazy because there really is always a pump somewhere, and you shouldn't let the macro cloud your judgment as far as like just
macro. Let's just be clear, just for everyone in here. Macro is gay, and no one cares about macro. If you trade crypto based on macro, you will be poor forever. That's if you haven't learned that lesson this month. I don't know what to tell you, because crypto doesn't care about macro. That's a LARP. That's like a scam. Don't listen to them.
It's like a fucking new hole that people fell into too. I feel like there's
like I get it,
and like
but
I don't understand why I would listen to like people that are like. Here's the thing about macro. It's really hard for people that are really good at it. So why the fuck am I gonna listen to people that were like trading fucking pictures on the internet for money about macro? Like it's just not their wheelhouse. I don't understand. It'd be like if I went to a fucking football player and was like, "Hey, dude, can you be my fucking doctor?"
Hash, I think it's as simple as just seeing whenever these huge events happen, like 3AC, right, Voyager, what have you, back in June, and then during FTX, and back in those spaces, back in November, me and Payne were out there saying like, you have more people that are currently more bearish than GCR was at the top of the cycle. And now you have GCR saying that.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. That was actually hilarious.
Yeah, and dude, and it's true, dude. It's true.
I remember you saying those exact words.
Yeah. So, like, I don't really like to be vocal, dude. Like, I just say things 2 or 3 times, and then I just go about my business, dude. But you have some people that are just so like loud, man. Both bulls and bears, and it's like, dude, do you even like participate in the market? Right? Because it's like if you're on Twitter all day, if you're in YouTube all day, and going on spaces talking about like, oh, precious metals this, CPI this, CPI that, like my macro signal, dude, has been the same guy since July, and it's this one dude called Jeff Winiger, and that's pretty much it, dude. But like, I only tune into his spaces when he has them, and just jot down little points. And I mean, that's pretty much it, dude. Like, I'm not gonna talk to a Bitcoiner to talk macro, dude.
I also just think that like it's cool to like want to learn about that shit, but you shouldn't be positioning your like couple week trade based on like
if you're basing
outlook.
your $5 million market cap shitcoin trade on what like the macro conditions are, you're literally retarded. Okay,
that's why I tweeted like, what is fucking the BOJ default gonna do to affect Milady floor? Like, how is this gonna impact Milady? It's like, just fucking everybody needs to relax and remember that we're here to fucking just swap scams with each other online for a little while.
People forget that the number one product of crypto is it goes up. Like, don't forget that. Yeah, it goes down a lot too. But the whole reason anybody's here is because crypto goes up a lot, and it goes up really fast. And when it starts going up, you should not fade it. You should buy it.
You know the meme? Like, I was telling David this earlier. You know the meme of the guy sitting on the train? Like, there's the 2 guys sitting on the train. and the one guy's looking at the wall.
Yeah.
He's like sad, and the other guy's looking out the window, and he's all happy. Like, crypto's really like that right now, where everybody's like, "Oh, they're spoofing the market," and then fucking the guy's looking out the window, and he's like, "They're spoofing the market." And it's like,
Dude,
you can fucking just be on the same side as the
Yeah.
flow and like make money
They're like,
and
this is
not
a
fucking
fake
bitch
rally.
about it.
bro,
Hash
one of
are
the
joking like, yeah, dude, spoof me a new fucking house. Spoof me a
Yeah.
new car. I'll take it. Thank you. Thank you
I'm
very
so glad
much.
you brought that
Spoof
up,
me
Hash,
out.
because like some of the best traders I know don't like they straight up don't know anything about macro. Like some of the best crypto traders, you know? Like one of my
Tell him about
good
Chris,
friends,
bro. Tell him about
bro,
Chris.
Chris is literally looks at the chart, bro. He says, if I think it's cheap, I buy. When I feel like it's high, I sell. Like there is nothing else. You have to left curve it because it's a left curve ass market, man. There's nothing like, dude, if you're sitting here like, oh, housing looks grim, so I'm all cash for, sure. Here's the thing, if SPX, eventually does go down, sure, but it's like all the time in between that, bro, you miss so many pumps, like you miss so many plays, just because
like don't let your morality get in the way of making money. Like that's
it's
the
the
other thing that I
definition,
see
dude.
a
It's the
lot. Is
definition
people
of do you want
being
to be
like,
right? Do you want to be right, or do you
yeah,
want to make money?
exactly. Do you want to be right or do you want to make money? I see like another one that I saw that was great is I saw somebody being like, "Oh, if you're trading Aptos right now, you would fucking grind babies up in a blender and trade that for money if you could." And I was like, "Dude, like I don't know what you're here to do, but I'm here to fucking like trade fucking little coins with each other. I'm not here to like, have some moral hierarchical position on why I fucking am like investing in shit coins. Like, and if you are, there are a couple coins for you. They're called like Monero, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, and that's about it. And the
Yeah,
rest of
buy
the
some
shit you should probably
Zcash and
shut the
fuck
fuck up
off,
about.
okay?
Yeah.
No one cares. Are we here to make money, or are we here to cry all day? Like,
Let's
seriously.
go. Let's go, dude. David, so what's this thing that you posted up top? How do you pronounce it? Creatira?
Createra. How you pronounce it is get rich era. Chinese
Gotcha.
metaverse land. It's the greatest thing you've ever seen. I wrote a beautiful thread about it. You guys should all read it. It's all the
For
alpha
sure.
you need. Okay? Just go read it and go buy one because they went up to like what do they get up to, like 1.5 ETH, and they're at like what are they at right now? Let's check it out. Live price
They're
check.
going
Hold
back
on.
up. They're going back up.
0.89. See, they went to 0.6, back up 0.89. When they are 15 ETH, you guys are gonna be crying. Oh my god, I remember that guy in that space told me to buy this and I didn't buy it. And you'll still be poor. Okay?
No. With you, David, and I mean, I don't like. I think we have been in the same space, but I think you were muted most of the time. But on the spaces that you and Hash and Rogfather, or now he's known as Crocfather.
He's
Right?
Bogfather. I didn't call him his stupid names
Yeah.
he changes himself to.
So yeah, like back when you guys did your spaces, you guys had some pretty good conversations, some pretty good calls. So you guys have your track record, and I respect that. I'll
Listen,
take your
I'm just
guys'
gonna
word for
say
it.
I'm not that great of a trader. I've done tons of stupid shit. But I gotta
We
say,
all
Hash
have.
and I, we gotta put our dicks on the table here. We fucking told everybody to fucking buy for like 3 weeks, and nobody listened. Nobody. And we've been running it up.
I was
Feels good.
right there with you with pain, dude. Right there with you
Bro,
with pain. Hey, what was it that Vestige was saying, dude? Like 4K
I don't know,
BTC,
man.
COVID
I don't know,
lows,
man.
bro. And then like this one BTC
There's a
Maxi,
lot of liquidity at 3,200.
dude, and then like this one
Get the
BTC
fuck out
Maxi
of
was
here.
saying how like ETH like MetaMask was hacked or whatever, and there's like this huge data breach, bunch of like conspiracy stuff.
I just
Dude,
think
every
that
time
if
there's
you
Wow.
like
exchange
if
or
you looked at
infrastructure FUD, it's
if you
almost
looked at
always a
ETH's
local
chart
one. But anyways,
at fucking if you were looking at ETH's chart, sorry dog, I didn't mean to step on you like 4
no,
times.
you're
But
good, bro.
if you were fucking looking at ETH's chart at like 11 to 1200 range, and we're like, oh yeah, like I shouldn't buy any of this. I should just fucking wait for this to go lower.
Yeah.
For like the last 6 months, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like, we were there for a while, bro. And
The
eventually it's like, you gotta just
conversation,
fucking.
Bro, like May to
the
December.
conversation. Sorry, let me go. I'll let you go 1 second. The conversation me and Hash were having all December was like, hey, so we had the 3AC collapse, and ETH went below 1,000 for like a day, and then came back up. And then we had the FTX collapse, which is the biggest collapse in the history of crypto, and ETH didn't go below 1,000. It went below 1,100 briefly, and it was like, and it's also been 6 months since the bottom on ETH. I was like, if you don't buy here, when the fuck are you gonna buy? Was basically the question. And it's like, yeah, ETH 400, the TA level going back to 2018. Yeah, okay, that's cool. But we didn't go below 1,000 with FTX. I was like, I don't know what's gonna push us below 1,000, and so that's why we started buying. It was kind of that simple. But I get it. Like, it's hard in the moment, but you gotta like think rationally sometimes. People like get so obsessed with like the levels and like, oh, Genesis. Well, dude, Genesis literally went bankrupt like overnight,
Like,
and no
like
one
yesterday.
cared. We
Yesterday.
fucking ripped. No one cares.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, ignore all that shit. Just think. Like just think for yourself. Stop listening to all these assholes on Twitter because they're all poor for a reason.
Did one thing that I do want to bring up, I see we have Sefi in the crowd, and I believe the day after New Year's, the day after that, I think it was the first day that the stock market opened up this year, Coinbase had opened up at like $32, $31. And like one thing that I was mentioning was like, dude, this thing is down like 90, what was it? Like, what was it? Paying like 93% since IPO. And it was worth,
Wait,
it
you're
was
talking about
Coin
Coinbase
stock.
stock?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, Coin stock. Dude,
Holy
dude,
shit, bro!
it
30
hadn't,
bucks? Are you
dude,
serious?
it had an evaluation, like a full evaluation of $7 billion. And I was like, dude, this thing has a lower market cap than like the top
Doge.
15, top 20. And like the
Hey,
discrepancy
sorry
there.
to 1 sec. Hash, are you looking at optimism, dude? This thing is running highs right
Yeah,
now.
I'm still long.
No, it is chatting.
I
I'm
closed way
still
too
long
early.
optimism. I'm still
Closed
long
at 208.
Solana. And
I'm still long
I have a
Gala.
little
Gala's about to squeeze. I can feel it in my nuts.
little Lido still. Yeah,
Anyways,
OP, bro.
let's continue.
Yeah.
Let's talk coins for a second because all this stuff is cool, but like, okay, what happened happened. What coins does everybody like? I said optimism. I think that we're just going to see a rotation on chain, and none of those coins have really pumped yet much. I think you should get on chain if you're not on chain. On chain season is gonna happen. A lot of people weren't here for like, I don't know how many of you were here for DeFi summer or like early 2021 when on chain was like going absolutely ballistic.
I was here.
But like,
I remember that.
Definitely in the trenches.
I remember. And I
there's
remember like
no better opportunity. There's gonna be like, I don't know how long it'll last, but I think we'll get at least a few weeks here. It could be longer, but at least a few weeks of like many opportunities to just pull 10, 20, 30 X's on random shit. And if you're not like seeking that shit out, you're gonna regret it. Like, this is the time. It like we haven't,
Dude, there's so many things on
majors.
There's so many
On-chain is
deck
gonna
screener.
happen.
I've been playing a couple deck screener shitcoins, bro, from like 150 market cap to like 850. There's a bunch of opportunity. Like, you just have to pay attention, and it's not that hard.
it's time. It's time to go deeper into the trenches.
It's time to go.
Bro,
Like,
we've been in the trenches.
Listen, I tweeted today. If you were on the sidelines, here's the thing: you missed the major moves on like the majors, right? Hurts, whatever. Get in the trenches. Get off the sidelines. Get out of your fucking seat. Stop waiting. Stop saying I'll buy the pullback. Blah blah blah. It's not the top. Buy. Stop. Buy. Okay. Stop coping and buy. Because you were coping last week and you didn't buy, and now you're coping again and you're still not buying. Just fucking press the green button, okay? Get on chain. That's your motivational speech for the day.
Yeah, just go buy fucking Premia. I can't believe Premia is still only $10 million. This is like the dumbest fucking. This is the most mispriced coin that I fucking know of right now.
They are selling $100 bills on
buy
chain
some
for $2 right now, folks. That's the point.
Yeah, that Coinbase play was cool. Like I got out of like 25% though, because the business model for the company blows right now. So the problem is that like the central exchange narrative and all that, it's not that interesting. It could probably go up a lot more. But I was like, fuck it, I made my 25% and I'm out. So like, made like a little 10K bag there and just left. So that was that. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that could has pretty decent charts right now. Like I'm pretty much planning on like
Steffi,
whenever it
you've
happens.
nailed it with Adam, dude. Like
Yeah,
twice now, dude. Actually, 3 times. You've nailed
I
it three
bought like
times,
a
dude.
lot. I brought my average down closer to like maybe $9 or something because I was at 12 before. So I think what with Adam, the fib extension for markup is like at $124. So that's like a good 10x, and then the yield is like 21% inflationary. So it's like the highest inflationary coin with the best BTC, one of the best BTC charts out there after 5-year consolidation. So like I'll fully expect a 10x on my Adam. Coming into the whenever the next scenario
At
is now.
least, dude. I
So
said
the
at
thing,
least.
yeah,
Wait, are
getting
you
back
playing
to
Atom
getting,
chain stuff, like the ecosystem, or just Atom itself?
yeah, like Atom itself. Now, like the winners probably for like the VC backed, I guess winners for like jumping in and watching would be your Say Network, your DYDX, and your
Yeah, but DYDX has the worst tokenomics, though. That's kind
right,
of the thing.
right. Well, no, I'm talking about
Oh
the
wow,
new
dude!
Cosmos chain.
Adam is fucking about to break out in the 4-hour.
I'm talking about the
Oh.
new Cosmos chain DYDX, not the current one. So,
okay, I know.
Or getting in
but
really,
the
really
token
early.
still is the same, right?
Yeah, getting in really early, like on whatever. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're going to release, but at least they're credible builders. So the thing is,
Do you like Injective? I hear a lot about that coin, but I never
didn't
really
buy any
looked into
yet.
it.
Like I haven't played with it. Yeah, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of good buzz about it. I probably should buy some just for the fuck of it. But yeah, then the other one was Say Network. So those are the ones that I think are going to be the obvious sort of like pump and dumps as far as like VC backed things. Like you guys said before, like the VC backed ones are plus or minus. On the one hand, the VCs will pump the shit out of them. On the other hand, like you're going to get dumped on if you're not careful. So like, it's like get a 3x or 5x or some shit and just get out and be done with it.
Bro, it's
like,
all just a game of chicken. That's like,
yeah,
and there's
right.
like 5 real things here, and everything else you're just playing fucking chicken with everybody else online.
Oh,
Like,
hey, speaking of optimism, one of the coins I'm in is just moved like 20% while we're talking. You guys should get on optimism. I'm going to say that again because people are going to be.
did you buy Velo or what?
No, I bought. Well, okay, I'll say it. Pump in my bags. Don't fucking listen to me. Don't. If it dumps, don't cry to me. It's called Sunny, SONNE. It's like a fucking 1 mil market cap coin over there. If you lose your money, don't cry. Okay, it's a 1 million shit coin. Okay, for Christ. But it'll be a 5 million shit coin in a few days. So that's kind of the point. But that's not financial advice. Okay.
So, Steffi, what are some things that you're looking at when it comes to the Cosmos? I know you and some other people have been hosting spaces with some of these more like newer projects, and also like the whole Luna V2 thing. I've been building a bag, but want to know like your thoughts on.
As you know, I have a shit ton of like Luna airdrop from before. So I'd be perfectly happy with it going up, but most of it is
Aptos
locked
is
up, so it's not easy to sell it. So I think the fact that like most of the coin is locked up, you might see some really wild moves. So like a $10 Luna is really, really straightforward, and their projects are really good coming out. So I think the narrative is going to be easy to spin there because you have so many users already. You have like a lot of dormant users with dormant wallets, and I think all that will wake up and people go fucking nuts eventually. So it's just a matter of like time. So I think it's the most easily pumpable coin on the market is Luna because you have so many people
dude,
on it.
Aptos just ripped.
Aptos is ripping.
Yeah.
It just went to 1150. Holy shit. Hey, that mean what? You know what that means, Hash? What should we long?
Fucking optimism.
Yeah, go buy optimism, folks. Well, don't listen to me. It's really high. This is risky. This is like, never mind. Don't listen to me.
Yeah, don't do anything. Just
don't.
I think
it's up
Cash's
like
background
20%
noise
for the day. Don't listen to me.
says it all.
I'm just getting quiet though, and we just closed the daily. Like I would expect majors to kind of relax, but that doesn't mean shitcoins aren't gonna pop. Wow.
Hey guys,
Dude,
actually
shitcoin
have to,
on the weekend? Come on, man. There's going to be a bunch of pumps this weekend.
Yeah, I actually have to start wrapping up now, guys. So was good talking shop with everyone here. Thanks, Hash and Dave, for coming up. Same thing with you, Sefi, DT. I think we had someone else up here that left. But yeah, Adrian, yeah.
Hey, we can spin up another space if you're wrapping this one down. I'm down to talk coins with people if they want.
Yeah, probably like later in the night. I gotta go train right now.
Well,
so,
I'll open one up with Dave.
Yeah, host one, Hash.
Yeah.
Everyone in here, we'll host one. So follow me or Hash.
I'll see you guys later. If you want to join our Discord, it's in the bio. Catch you guys later. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll see you guys on Monday. Upload of the space will be up on our YouTube in about 5 to 10 minutes. Thanks everyone.
Long your longs.
Ciao, Wabi.
Long your longs.
Peace out, guys.
Ciao, guys.
Peace out, Wabi.
The trading current is just math. It's just math. It has a 95.45% hit rate when we deviate outside of CP2 and CN2. All you had to do is recognize that 95% of the time when we get over here, under this blue line, we get some sort of mean reversion. So let's just assume you long right here. 95 out of 100 times, when I buy this, I'm going to get some sort of bounce. It's just math. Look what would have happened as we move up. Look at the bounce that came after. And now look where we are. If you had just blindly followed the current, you take all emotions out of it, you say, I'm going to trust the statisticians. You would have bought Dow Jones somewhere down here under 30,000, depending on how you want to measure it from absolute top to bottom, 20% move. We also have multi-time frame alerts. You don't even have to be at your computer on TradingView. You can ping your phone. Now, the current has some really awesome features, and I would urge you guys to join our Discord to get access to it. We give it away for free as a tool to the community. It's just math. There's really no need to overcomplicate things, not even in the slightest.